this cool edge that features an accordion style bottom and then solid rows of double crochets at the top. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the ridge trimming edging. I'll be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. All right, for this design, we're actually going to work lengthwise, meaning we're going to create the width of the edge first, and then you're going to work the length that you want. So this can be worked over any number of stitches for your foundation chain, and then you want to add 1 for the base chain. So I'm going to chain, let me see, maybe 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be the width of the edge. I like that. If you want it to be longer or shorter, then change the number of stitches that you have. We're going to move on to row 1. For row 1, you want to do 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So skip the first one, into the second, 1 single crochet. And then you want to do 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way down. So let's do that. 1 single crochet into each one of my chains. Okay, this here's the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to chain 1 and flip your work. You're going to do 1 single crochet into the back loop only of each stitch all the way to the end. So the back loop, you know how normally you work a stitch under both loops like this? For the back loop, you just want to go into the one that's furthest away from you. So we're going to do that into the back loop only, single crochet all the way to the end. That's going to give you that kind of, it looks like it's on top of, like this row is going to look like it's on top of the previous one. It's going to give you some depth. There we go. This here is the end of row 2. And now essentially we just want to repeat row 2 until you reach the length that you want. So every row you're going to chain 1 and do back loop single crochets all the way to the end. Again, you're creating the length that you need for your project. So the length of your edge. I'm going to repeat this several more times so I can have, a long enough piece. And then I can show you how to do the next step, which is going to be adding the actual, like an extra layer to the border. So then you can attach it to your project. So do this until you have the length that you want. And I'll see you then. Okay, I just made a piece long enough that I feel like I could show you the next step. One tip here is going to be to always count your stitches in case you miss one at the edges. I did that myself, and so you should have the number of stitches that you start, like your foundation chain minus 1. So for example, I started with a foundation chain of 8. I should have 7 stitches all the way throughout. If you started with a foundation chain of 20, let's say, then you should have 19 stitches. So it's important to count that. Once you reach the length that you want, now we're going to move on to what we're going to be calling the header. So for the header and for row 1 of the header, you're going to start with a chain 3. And we're going to be working this way. So normally you would flip your work like this, right? So instead we're kind of rotating by 90 degrees and we're going to be working back along the edge here. So this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Now you want to place 1 double crochet into the edge stitches until you get to the end of the row. So technically you need 1 stitch per row. You could also count your rows. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need 11 double crochets on this side, including the chain 3. So I'm, to be completely honest, going to go into random places, guys. You might have a better system, but as long as your stitches are spread out evenly, you should be good. So this is my 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9, And let me see, I said 11 including the chain, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So now I have 11 double crochets, including the chain 3, which is what I started with, but it counts as a double crochet. So now that was the end of row 1 of the header. For row 2, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. Flipping over, you're going to skip that first stitch, and into each one of the stitches, you're going to do a double crochet all the way to the end. This is going to be the header, and this is what you're going to be attaching to your work as your edge. So I'm just going to do this with you here. And again, you just want to make sure that you have the same amount of stitches as rows, because you're working at the edge of the rows. And then this is my last one here. You might have a lot more stitches than me, but again, this is just a little sample I'm making for you. Okay. And there we have it. This here is the end of row 2 of the header. You can go ahead and cut off your yarn and thread your ends through. Okay, and here we have it. Look how cute this is. It looks the same, I would say, on both sides. And so yeah, this is, picture this longer at the edge of your work. So it adds this kind of fan effect, I guess, or like an accordion at the bottom, and then your border at the top, and you work it all in one go. This is what it looks like. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.